Hi everybody, welcome. So we got a bit of a new thing starting today, Dungeon Keeper 2, but I'm only allowed to use Bile Demons. We're going to be playing the main campaign. It's a thing I've done before, but it has been a couple of years since I've cracked this bad boy open. Um, that's technically a lie. I did some installation and messing around with the graphics that we had to completely revert because this game breaks if you do cool stuff with it. It's ancient. Um,
I'm here too. Hello.
yeah, we've got the David with us. He's currently doing food things, so he's going to be a little bit passive in the beginning. But yeah,
A quick
so
question. Did I hear you correct? Are you playing with only bile demons?
yeah, so we're going to have to jimmy it a little bit. So I've given myself a bit of an out in that if the game is ever soft locked by requiring a specific monster, I'm allowed to use one monster. That is not a Bile Demon in a map that like there's a level where there's an absolute requirement where you have to snipe someone out using a Dark Elf. Other than that, I'm pretty much going to have to like imp rush or figure something out to get up to that point of having unlocked Bile Demons in the first place, which I think is around here somewhere. Um, Maps that don't have portals, I'm allowed to use founding monsters, but if I find Bile Demons, I need to pretty much just trash everything that isn't Bile Demons. So I'm going to use Bile Demons as far as possible. There will be a couple of light caveats. If the game requires a certain spell, I'm allowed one Warlock to do research, kind of vibes. But for the most part, yeah, nothing but Bile Demons. I'm going to earnestly try and get as far as I can with just imps up until that point. And that's going to suck even harder than the just having Bile Demons, because at least they can hold their own in a fight. Um, so yeah, I mean, this is a game from the 90s, so if it looks a bit blocky, it's because the resolution right now is 800 by 600. They don't make screens that small anymore, and they haven't for over 10 years. Um, we messed around briefly with the settings yesterday where I was able to go into Reg Edit and get it to 1920 by 1080, but first up, widescreen with this game sort of forces you to be more zoomed in than the game is really meant to be played. Um, so we put it down to 1440 by 1080 just to keep the same square aspect ratio, but um, OBS didn't like that, so I figured, hey, let's have a game that people can watch. But without further ado, let's head over to Smilesville and kill Lord
Welcome,
Antonius.
Keeper. Before you lies a happy and carefree realm.
Happy and
The
carefree,
local
yeah, right. You
champion
live
Lord Antonius
underground.
holds the first portal gem you require. Learn how to construct a dungeon and build up your fort.
I'm
Level
a, I'm a, I'm a
Behold,
bit of a
your
noob.
dungeon
What
heart.
is exactly a
Protect the
dungeon
fair,
keeper?
for if it is destroyed, you will
So,
be banished forever from this
a
land.
dungeon keeper is a magical disembodied hand whose life force is
Here walks
centered
the
around
lovely
that
Lord
big heart you just
Antonius.
saw
'Tis he who
crack
holds
its
the
way through the
first portal
ground.
gem. But
So,
only
to
when you
those who
muster
don't know
strength
Dungeon
sufficient
Keeper,
to challenge
it
him
was a
to final
game made by
prize.
a little studio called Bullfrog in the 90s. They made probably the three most popular game of the
Actually,
90s, namely Dungeon Keeper, Theme Hospital,
first,
and
there's money to be
I
made.
can't for the life of me remember the
Cloaked on the
third.
flashing sea of gold,
Oh my
your
god, I
imps will
loved
dig out
making
the area
people's
you
head explode in Theme
designate.
Hospital. It was the best.
Oh yes, with the bloaty head syndrome, and you pop them. Protect the dungeon heart. There's that dude. So this man's voice is pure silk. I don't know if he's still alive or still in business, but there's never been anybody. A lot of games, so Dungeons, the Dungeon series, the War for the Overworld, both
Well,
pretty much saw
and now your faithful servant
Dungeon
imps have
Keeper is
carried out your
great. It
goals
has a
successfully.
sarcastic, glib, ominous
Once you've
sounding
become a
British
citizen,
dude.
the golden
Let's
scale
follow that
registry
formula.
keeps track of your reserves.
Just a quick little technical note. It sounds like we're not hearing
More
the
gold
game
is required.
sounds.
12,000 units
Is
should be
that
mined.
correct? I'm gonna quickly switch to the stream and double check.
They're set quite
Flags
low,
float above
but
your
they're not
ears. These give
playing.
measure to their health. Their skill acquired
And the last
with
recording
simple
did pick it
force
up.
within.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna raise that just a little bit. But yeah, so the War for the Overworld has this British guy who's like entirely too. He sounds like that guy who's just like completely not offended but outraged by pretty much anything that happens. How dare a firefly enter your dungeon sort of vibes. Whereas Dungeons, they got the voice a little bit better, but not quite. It sounds a bit cockney. And the humor is a lot more slapstick and lol, we made a Game of Thrones reference in a fantasy game. Ha ha ha, we're so bad. Because, you know, every third joke is either a reference from Game of Thrones or a direct crib from Warcraft. So, Dungeon Keepers, basically, you have this little heart, you're an evil person trying to take over the
You are ready
world.
to recruit more creatures to your cause. See? A portal near your dungeon heart, to where your
And
imps
you
must
have
dig.
these little guys,
They'll
these
claim this
imps.
portal to be yours.
So,
You'll see what beasts emerge.
to give you an idea of how old this game is, you can't zoom in and out with a mouse wheel. You have to use the end and home buttons. You also can't move with WASD. You have to use the actual arrow keys.
Damn. Is there a way to
The
remap that
dungeon heart is
if you're
full
more
of
comfortable
gold.
with your
No
modern
more than
sensibilities or not really?
16,000 can it hold.
Possibly. I'm not gonna mess with that now because I think those keys are actually mapped to certain spells.
Okay.
So they wanted me to make
The
a.
lair. A place of
One was a
rest where
5x5,
creatures
one was a
seek
3x3.
to calm
I'm gonna
their
just do
tempers
three,
and
two
The
stress.
5x5s.
3x3 was a
Your
hatchery,
lair is
if I
built.
recall correctly.
Now right-click to cancel
Whatever a
building.
hatchery may be. I guess it's where you hatch things.
Well, I'm going
Hello.
5x5 on
Really
both
hatch.
because fuck it, I can afford it. This is a
Nice.
tutorial level.
You're currently flush, is what you're saying.
I am flush af, son. So yeah, you see these little guys are running around. Here's where we keep our gold. We can build a bigger room down the line. These blocks only hold 1,000 gold each.
Behold your portal. The gate through which new creatures enter your
So
domain.
these little guys dig
Drawn
and
forth
claim the
to use
ground.
The rooms which you provide.
And they're already reaching level 2, which is good news for me since they're going to be my
Look where
early
A
fighters.
goblin has entered your domain. On his own, he is a cowardly beast, but in a horde becomes a useful.
That big sigh? What does this mean?
I'm getting creatures that aren't Bile Demons because we haven't unlocked them yet. So, I don't have the
Have
position.
you already failed the
I
challenge?
haven't failed. So what's going to happen is I'm going to get monsters and then I'm going to just drop them right back in the portal or eventually just lock them in a room. The thing is, until I get the possession spell, it is physically impossible for me to progress in the game without the goblins. So until I have that spell, I'm going to have to just try and make a single
Must
goblin
build a
work.
hatchery. Click here. Select the symbol of the chick. Then
Fuck
click
your
on the empty
3x3.
tiles of land you've claimed to build the hatchery. The hatchery. A place where creatures feed on favored food. The eggs will hatch and chickens then emerge to satisfy
So
their
the British dude
appetite.
is doing a whole lot of explaining tutorial
Good
stuff to
progress,
me.
keeper. See? Your goblins are well rested in their lair, and their bellies full with juicy chicken.
Okay, I can only keep one of these,
Now
but I get to
keep watch,
choose which.
for
They're all
very
level
soon
1.
More goblins will arrive, and then your numbers will be strong enough to challenge Lord Antonius. Ah, you've picked a creature up. To drop him,
So the
right-click
downside
anywhere
being
on
I
your
can't
land.
I can't train them either, so I'm gonna have to win this level with a single level 1 goblin.
Sounds
um,
like it's gonna be a rough one. By the way, Evermore Lisa says hi,
oh
and I'm
hi!
saying also hi.
It's weird, I don't see her on the online users list currently. But hello,
She won't be
darling.
like that. She snuck in and stole your hearts and did a chats.
Yeah, that tracks. She's also my makeup artist for tonight. We're messing around with the lovely new lighting equipment that the David kindly got me for my birthday. Hello. Um, and I think the game soft locks until I have a certain number of goblins. I'll toss them all later.
We did, however, I think yesterday briefly check out Dungeon Keeper 2, and I think it crashed a lot, so we will be saving a lot.
Yes, thank you for the reminder.
Game saved.
I love it. The dude actually says game saved, like as if the thing appearing wasn't good enough. But yeah, so Lisa is actually also my makeup artist tonight. While we were messing around with sound equipment, she decided, oh hey, look, I've gotten enough goblins that impenetrable ground is suddenly penetrable.
That is such a strange thing for Lisa to say. Just you
What?
know, she surprises us like that.
Say what?
You were saying, so that Lisa said, and then, oh, goblin, impenetrable ground.
Move your gaze to
And
see
it was this was the smooth transition. It was like,
But worry not,
Lisa's changed a
for
lot.
it is only dwarfs.
I can't slap these guys.
Little threat against your goblins.
He says they're a little threat against my goblins, but I just have the one.
On any of your creatures, then watch. They'll toil a little
Little
fast,
threat against your
but
goblin.
also
Oh, wait.
suffer modest injury.
Okay, somebody needs to rescue that goblin and put him in his lair so we can continue to fight. Stop doing stuff that is not... Oh, so the imps are actually fighting. That's good news.
The hapless enemy dwarfs are being crushed. Observe the white health flowers which appear above them. When they're near to death, you'll see that only one last petal
I'm guessing
shows.
that those were dwarves that spawned?
Yeah. So they actually dug through. It was a level 1 and a level 2 dwarf. You see, they've got one petal left on this little flower thing. Which, yeah, when you hit that last petal, you drop. And the flashing means they're actually quite close to death.
But do they just randomly appear, or is it if you dig far enough that they appear, or how does that work?
I'm actually not 100% certain in the wider sense. I do know that this level's sort of tutorial-y, so you saw this rock here change from this rock to this soft diggable rock here. And I don't know if a flag got triggered or if they just constantly try and attack you or if I even dug into them. But yeah, basically this level's like, hey, these are enemies you can fight.
Away,
Ooh.
Keeper! You shall not taint Smilesville with your evil ways!
Speaks the feeble Lord Antonius. See how the petals of his white health flower are of a special shape. This marks him down as your prime target.
That
Take him out.
chest over there raises a lot of questions.
What chest? That thing. Yeah, I need my imps to claim it because it gives some sort of... Oh, it levels up my minions. So, what we're gonna do is we're first gonna kite this guy over here.
That guy seems like he's got some aggression issues.
Yeah, everyone's super angry in this game. It's what happens when everybody you know is evil. So he's shitting himself right now.
I see you have discovered a magical item.
So we're gonna use him to sort of just distract this guy for a while. Because I can't do much else.
Your creatures have been blessed with experience.
Oh, nope. Second
Can you-
goblin that... Which one of you guys is my original?
Can you actually lose the tutorial? Is that possible?
Yes, it is absolutely possible, and in fact it might happen at this rate. My imps don't get it together. Wait, new goblin. No, no, in the box. Where are you? In the box. So you see, this guy just wrecked. Like, a second one did manage to get in the outlet, and he's gonna start hitting the heart now. And he's leveled up. Fuck. I suspect my imps are going to, like, fight him though. Yeah. So the imps are pulling some hit and run BS. They're also preoccupied building the fucking wall when they should be digging this guy in the back. Hit him! Hit him! There you go. See, I got a new goblin who could have saved me, but no, I can't use him. Come on. One imp, just hit him. One imp. There you go. One more. You're level 5! Why are you running?
Why are you running?
Cowards! Oh, and the one goblin's dead, which is great, but the other one's about to die, which is less great. Just hit him! Yep, both goblins dead. Now the question here is, I know I said I'm allowed to use one creature, but if that creature dies, am I allowed another one? And I think the answer is no. At least if I haven't wiped at least once. You know what? 4 on 1. One of you guys has to do something. You little bitches. In the box.
Yeah, those diggy guys don't seem very especially...
They're not made for combat. Yes!
Lord Antonius is fallen. The portal gem lies aside his
Yeah.
helpless form, in wait for Horny to collect it, so it's yours.
Horny, I love it. The Horned Reaper is named Horny. Ah, he's glorious. Look at his nipples. Look at them! These does say weird crap. But she's marrying me, so... You know, you can't expect her to be a boring normal person. That would be no fun. I love you, my darling. Look at it. So
is this a unit you can normally summon? What is this horny dude?
So the Horned Reaper, like, there's this iconic video from the first Dungeon Keeper game where he's basically like the avatar of the evil spirit, or he's like this Grim Reaper super mercenary or something.
The training room lets
This game is from a time before people were super heavy on lore, so they didn't delve too heavily into it, but basically there are times you can summon him, and if you don't give him something to kill, he will try and just kill stuff.
Well done, Keeper.
You
have successfully
really
ended the life of
avoid.
Lord Antonius, and you have claimed
Yeah.
the first
How does
portal
it
gem
factor
as
into
well.
your
This is a most
playthrough
promising
challenge?
start.
So the Horned Reaper, honestly, like his appearance just there was, you've won the level, he is going to collect the gem for you. So I didn't use him as part of the thing. It was more of a cinematic prop.
So we won't just spawn in the middle of like a regular game or anything like that.
Not likely. There are points in the game where you're soft locked without him, in which case he falls under the soft locking clause. I don't know what's happening. Otherwise, I won't summon. Like, I will never summon him out of just, oh, I could use a clutch right now. Huh. He's a center heart. Yeah, so there are points where he just sort of rocks up. Very rarely will it actually be any time where he impacts anything though, and if he does, that's the game being the game, not me skimping.
A joyous land filled with light and music. Let us silence their wailing voices once and for all. This land is defended by Lord Darius, a far tougher opponent than Lord Antonius. Only by harnessing the forces of dark magic will you defeat him.
So, does this dialogue actually play through to the stream?
To your cause, and they...
The
The good
in-game
Lord
sound was playing
Darius
through earlier when I
presents himself
checked.
against
I
you
didn't check
now.
down the
He's
menu though.
more
Okay.
worthy as a
Well, if it's going through, it's
But
going
use the
through.
rooms you won from Smilesville to good employ.
So you see, there's
You'll
that
see
portal
it
there.
is just like Antonius.
And that's where the heroes sort of mission their way out. Like, if they spawn, that's where they spawn from. Sometimes they're just
Library.
present in the world.
Training room.
So this level soft locks on
First,
research.
build
I'm
a
gonna have to
lab,
have
and then a
one
hatchery,
warlock.
Then claim the portal near your dungeon heart.
So that's how I'm gonna roll with that. My one unit this level is going to be a warlock, basically, is how that's gonna boil down. Can I even create imps yet? No, but you see there is this new tab here, that's the spells. You know what, if I am allowed a single warlock, I wonder if I should do this the right way. There's a way of making sure the one thing you get is like a bit stronger, but I only know off the top of my head how to do it with Bile Demons.
Do the right thing.
I tell you what, can you just Google what rooms are required for the Elite Warlock? My phone is here, so I can't exactly do that, and if this game gets tabbed out, it will complain at me a lot. I mean, I could do a 4x3 layer, or I could just do this and save myself some money since I'm only using the one anyway.
Warlock. Where are you, Warlock? Ulmeric is the elite version of the Warlock. I see a picture is 4 bedposts at the north
Corners, yeah.
corners, and everything in the middle looks like money or cash or something that's stacked.
Are they books? Okay, I know how to build. I know how to build this
A
room.
library, where warlocks wild
said a
can
bedpost.
hone their evil craft.
Bedposts in the
Perfecting
corners,
spells for
and
you
it
to
looks like it
cast
might be
with
books
foe.
for everything else.
So it'll look like this.
Library. Room 1 is lair, the bedpost, and the second room is library.
Yep, cool.
And there is, at the corners, it's the bed, and then there's like 3 in between those. So it's a 5x5, if that helps.
Oh, it's a 5x5.
Did that help?
It helps a lot actually, because it means I get to sell this whole big room that is useless now.
Your library is too small to hold your spells.
Wait, why?
A size
You'll
of
see.
4x4 is what's required.
So if it's a 3x3, what's gonna? Because I was worried about this, and as the guy just complained at me, it's too small. So what we do? We go 3. Let the imps claim this whole area. I love watching them work. They're this weird blend of efficient as fuck and stupid.
It is vaguely Zen-like.
Yeah. Like,
And it's much faster than I would be able to build a dungeon.
right? So I was saying earlier, I totally want to do a Dungeon Keeper based D&D game, where either one of the players or you're gonna have to have an NPC that's some sort of geomancer, because digging this shit out by hand is just never gonna be practical.
Just be an earthbender.
I mean, wrong lore universe thing for that, but sure. Okay, so
Geomancy is from the Disgaea universe. What do you mean?
it is not just from that universe. There's geomancers in War of the Lions even.
Yeah, 50.
Love me some FFT. Okay, so there's gonna be a training room here, but I need some moolah because I am Poe from fucking up my constructions.
The training room is a place where fighting creatures hone their skills.
Wonder if there's a way to just disable a portal after. Nah, this game's so busy trying to not let you fuck yourself over. It gets very hard to do it on purpose. I'm not actually gonna
Task well
fill
But
this
training
out.
creatures will cost gold. You have
Should
claimed
I?
the portal.
That's still early game. I can afford it.
Hark now. A warlock has arrived to study
Ah,
spells
look at
within
those
your
black
library.
robes. Usually
His
they're
research will
blue.
serve your magic well. Restrict him not, though, to his books, for when in battle he may prove
Who's this guy's name?
formidable with
Elmeric.
fireballs.
No, it's Palamon. Bye,
Warlock
sir
has left
boy.
your dungeon.
Wait, didn't
Every
you want a
bookcase in
single
your
warlock?
library will attract
Yeah.
another warlock to your realm.
I get to choose which one I keep though.
They're gonna give you
A
multiple
new
ones just for
species
free.
of creature has entered your
Sooner or
dungeon.
later, one will stroll through. Stuff's gonna keep coming in. So how this portal works is, for your first one, it will just keep creating creatures until there are 15 living ones that are from it. This guy's name is Drot. If you get further portals, I think it goes down to 5 each. I'm not 100% certain. What I actually can do. Train, guys, train! Or just, you know, build a wall.
A goblin
Whee.
has left your dungeon.
I swear half of the stream is just going to be me chucking random monsters into the pit. Into the pit with you. David, you said the library's supposed to be 3 and then just layers in the corners, right?
Yeah, so the sleeping posts in the corners and the rest filled up with libraries.
Okay, if the next warlock is an Ulmeric, I might need to just, you know, deal with it.
How does that work? Is there like a small chance of them spawning, or what?
As I understand it, yeah, it's probability based.
Probability is?
Something's coming. Hello? Are you Elmeric, sir? No, your name is Croak. Okay, fine. Here is your bedroom, sir.
Unfair than mine.
So it's cool you can pick your guys up and pop them down. I think this is the game that actually sort of came up with that mechanic for games like Fallout Shelter and all of that stuff. Also, you can slap your units to make them do stuff faster. Takes a little bit off their health, but that's fine. They heal quickly enough. I also think it's possible to slap enemy creatures if they're in your territory. I'm not quite sure how that works. See, his efficiency just went up from 90 to 100 up at the top there. His health, on the other hand, is suddenly abysmal. Later, buddy. Mr. Cacodamus? Cacodamus. So them being the worker unit, they obviously don't count, but I think imps are going to be the main clutch through this run.
So, I know in not Final Fantasy, Age of Empires, right? There's a big thing around economy. You kind of need to optimize your amount of villagers, etc., etc. Is that a thing in here as well? Having like a shit ton of imps? Is there any downside to it?
So imps don't cost money; they cost mana.
Mana is the currency of
So the more
and it's this you spend
territory
each time
I
you cast a
have, each
spell.
one of these blocks gives me 1
Your
regen of
level is
mana,
shown in green atop the screen.
and you see
Your
it's
land will gradually renew it as it's spent.
minus 28 that I'm
Cast
actually
your new
burning
spell to create an
on
imp.
maintenance.
So open now the panel
That's
spells
84.
and select the imp's head symbol. Then cast it with a click on any land that's yours.
So if you have a lot of imps, you can't be a heavy
You've made
caster
good
in
use
terms of
your
other
warlock's
spells.
studious research. A goblin has left your dungeon.
But you can develop and expand quickly or whatever you need to do.
Yeah, you can theoretically create a bunch of imps and kill them off
Imps are
later just by
creatures
slapping
born
them a
of
lot.
magic and cost mana to sustain.
But the downside of doing it that way is you don't really get to build a mana surplus for other useful spells. And every time you cast an imp, the mana cost goes up. I don't know if it stays raised based on how many imps you have, or if it goes up and down based on how many you've ever summoned. Later, buddy.
They've kind of made it not viable to have a massive imp army.
I mean, there's diminishing returns. Like I say, if that red number
You may
approaches
wish to
that
train
green
your
number,
warlocks to improve their skills. To do this, drop a
you
warlock
get
in the cave.
you get a lot hamstrung a lot of other ways.
A goblin has left your dungeon.
And as these idiots demonstrated in the last map, they're not by any means capable fighters. It's probably near impossible to win a level, especially the later levels, with just an imp rush. It's so difficult just to get them to fight in the first place that you can't really rely on them. There's
new
a
spell
second
has
warlock
been
somewhere, and I
researched.
don't know where he is.
Your warlocks now have studied further, offering you another spell to cast.
Thunderbolt.
A
Okay.
thunderbolt is yours to hurl against such foolish enemies who dare invade your turf.
Okay, so let's train this guy up if he's gonna
Your
be our
dungeon has
Ernie.
been breached.
Oh fuck, his
Your
health
imps
is
have found
toast.
some dwarves. These
And
righteous
there's
little
4 of those
beasts will
guys.
stray onto your land, and if they do, destroy them, for that's what they deserve.
But
A goblin has
I don't
left
need to
your dungeon.
fight
Your
because
imps
I
will call
have
your creatures to
lightning
defend the dungeon heart.
that I can't
You
afford.
must make sure of its protection above all other tasks.
See, this is where the
Your
imps are not
dungeon heart is
useful.
under attack.
Buddy, I know you're not in any shape for this, but do something. Watch the fireball. Ooh. So the imps have the dwarves distracted, so he's just pelting them. The warlock is a backline
Creatures
fighter.
make good progress. One improves his skill to level 2. A
Which
creature's
makes him
intelligence
great
is
for
level
this
4, but that's the
situation.
limit. Further skill can only be attained out on the battlefield. A left click on your creature picks it up. A right click on claimed land then lets
I
it
wonder if I
drop.
can slap him to make him heal faster.
Don't drop them too near enemies, for the dropping stuns these beasts a time and makes them vulnerable to enemy attack.
Excuse me, sir, you don't belong here.
The paltry
Excuse
dwarfs
me,
are
sir.
now destroyed.
You don't belong here.
Allow your creatures time to rest and eat. When ready, guide them north to find Lord Darius's keep. A warlock has left your dungeon.
Gonna level him up and then let him do the research, because I think he actually researches faster if he's higher level. In the meantime, while that's just happening, let's look at what we found here. So the dwarves were hanging out in this area, and I don't know if they dug their way in here or if I dug them out. I think they dug through. But it's a pretty rich little area. My gold reserves are basically full on account of I've only had
A
one
warlock
creature to
has
pay.
left your dungeon.
But when you're evil, greed just comes with the territory. Also, making my imps dig stuff just levels them up. And with 12 of them, they're going to be half decent decoy. Ooh. Ooh, I have a plan. Excuse me, Croak.
The time has come for you to face Lord Darius. Tag the flashing tiles. Your imps will tunnel to his keep.
I love how they just eat live chickens and they just like gullet them. Is this Croak? Yes. Want the other guy to get chucked.
A warlock has left your dungeon.
Oh man, this one monster thing is pain. So, when this gold bar comes out, when I create imps, they come out at level 4, which is great. If I'm gonna have just one actual
It
monster
is
for this,
payday.
it's gonna be very necessary. Oi, you've been paid, back to work. Yeah, it's nice. Normally, when payday happens, everyone like waltzes on over to the treasury and takes their cash. It's very viable to just drop money on them. But if you're feeling generous, you can just drop more money on them and they just get super happy about it for a while. And, you know, generosity isn't exactly the evil way. And similarly, if you don't want to wait for your imps to pick stuff up, you can just pick it up yourself and put it where you want it to go. Here, buddy, you must be hungry. Eat up. There's a goblin that snuck in here.
A goblin has left your dungeon.
So, David, would angering a creature so that it betrayed me count as me using it, keeping it for the purposes of monsters I'm allowed to have or not have? What do you think, buddy?
I'm just following along at the moment. I honestly don't have the best idea of what's going to be best, so just enjoying the show, friend.
So, my thinking is, if I'm only really allowed to keep one monster in a level, if I turn the others to treason, what happens is they're going to try and attack, like they're going to rebel and they're going to try and fight me, which means I can totally use these guys as training.
So basically level up one guy constantly fighting against the rechecks.
Yeah. I'm also curious, like I've slapped this goblin unconscious, he doesn't have a lair, but my imp's dragging him somewhere? No! Maybe if I get a reputation, these guys will stop waltzing in here.
A warlock has left your dungeon.
Okay, fuck off. This game's super zen. Like, even the music is like, it's ominous and spooky, but it's not very like, you need to be doing all the things now. Until you get into a fight, then it gets like really frenetic.
Does do the games always have similar win conditions, or how does that work?
Usually, so my current win condition is I need to like it's almost always a specific character you have to kill. There are very few exceptions. There's levels down the line where there's other dungeons that you have to fight against, and those are going to be really difficult. Yeah, Squeen. So check these out, they spawn at level 4 now. Hey buddy! Look at all of that level 4-ness. So they hit harder, they're harder to kill. They work faster, and I think at level 4 they get the ability to sort of teleport to wherever the next is supposed to be working. And now I can also level them up further by just having them work. I'm onto you and I'm onto you. None of that. It's gonna be nice once I have Bile Demons, I'll be able to actually fill up these slots so that eventually stuff stops wandering in that isn't them.
Yeah, you're currently doing a lot of micromanagement because of that.
Yeah, okay, so this guy is level 3. I'm not terrified to go through with whatever else is happening. Mainly because I'm amped to get to the Bile Demon part of this. Loo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Alright guys, don't worry about that just yet. This game can
Lord
get
Darius's walls are breached.
very
Your forces now
micromanagey.
must kill his guards and stir Lord Darius himself to come defend his
I'll be
land.
right back. BRB in 5.
Cool beans, buddy. Eh.
A goblin has left your dungeon.
Ho, biscuits, that's a lot of dudes. Oh Jesus. Just wreck that one dude and then nope. Okay, you need a heal. Where's the other guy? Away you go. Alright, I just summoned a bunch of imps.
Your hatchery
Oh, I
under
fucked
attack.
up. I fucked up a lot. Okay. There goes an imp, reduced to nothing but a pair of legs. Because that's what happens when an imp dies. You're the dude, no.
A warlock has left your dungeon. Your dungeon heart is under attack.
Okay, he's just in siege mode now, that's great. Yes, let them fight the imps. I don't care if they die. Halfway through level 4. Look at that XP gauge just fill up. Health 98%. These guys aren't exactly carving through it. Level 5, level 5. Oh! Biscuits. Somebody take him. Take him to his lair.
At last, Lord Darius has been roused. He enters through his hero's gate. Your forces now must kill him, and the portal gem of Sing-Song will be yours.
Well, I'm boned.
But dare not think that you will conquer me, you evil wretch.
Okay, he's
My
gonna be level
walls
5
and the
quickly
power of
enough.
good will drive you from this land.
You can slow down.
A warlock has left your dungeon.
If I can just stall the dwarves now, or stall Darius and let the dwarves get wrecked the same way the imps got the last batch. Oh shit, the spell's expensive, isn't it?
I see you have discovered a magical item.
What? Where?
Your
Mana!
mana
Yes!
reserves have been increased.
Don't spend it all, don't spend it all. You won't kill him right away. Just keep him stunned. Relax. The imps have got this.
Foul sorcery.
Probably.
You will perish.
Did I just shock a chicken? Can I shock a chicken? No. Stay off my warlock, please.
A goblin has left your dungeon.
Why must I do this? Okay, you chill there. Keep sieging. Let the imps do the dying part.
Your dungeon heart is under attack.
It's fine, it's fine. Stop panicking. Oh man. Cool. Nuke the dwarf. Nuke him again. Buddy, I do need you, I do, but not a good time. Okay, now it's just 12 imps versus Darius. And this guy's level 6 now, he's got to be doing something. Yeah, dying. What he is doing is dying.
Your creatures are pleased with you as their master. A warlock has left your dungeon.
Zap, zap, zap. If I could slap him, this would be so easy, but I can't.
It is payday.
How did you heal? Oh, at level 6 they learn to heal. There we go.
Dying. Now comes Horny to claim you the portal gem. Your progress.
Okay.
Nunchaku.
Ah, that's loud. So,
I see you blasted Lord
that's
Darius
the
off
Bile
face
Demon
of
we're
the
eventually
realm.
gonna have.
A most entertaining way to claim a portal gem. To
See,
hear their singing.
there was absolutely no need for that little cinematic to be there, and they've got one for like every level, more or less. So it's the little touches of that. It's just like, this is such a good game because of just the little touches they put in.
Ramshackle. This is a peaceful
Lord
land,
Avaricious.
but a
Wow,
poor
that name
one,
is
since its defender,
nominative
Lord
determinism at
Avaricious,
its
has frittered
best.
away his riches. If you can amass enough gold, you will
Traps.
surely be tempted into leaving his fortress and attack.
So I need to build traps, which means I'm gonna have to have a troll at this level.
He's well defended, but gold's his weakness. To lure him from his stronghold,
Oh, look at all this
mine all the
artifacts.
gold within his realm.
Yeah, so if I kill everything,
Treasury. Workshop.
then
Sentry.
it won't even be necessary for me to have a
door.
thing. Things and stuff are
A
words.
treasury allows more gold to be amassed. If placed near seams of gold, your imps will not have far to carry it.
Yeah, if I kill everything but him and I have traps, like, he'll just waltz into the cannons and get wrecked. So, an unpopular strategy with this game, or I don't know if it's unpopular, I don't actually know if they are metas with this game, but I think a controversial strategy is have rooms that your creatures spend a lot of times, especially training rooms, hatcheries, lairs. Instead of nicely walling off your dungeon, you build them like facing out into the dungeon, so if something bad happens, everyone's like, whoa, we're supposed to be doing stuff. Now I actually have the spell that gets me more imps. So I want these guys on claiming duty as soon as possible so I can get more mana, so I can get more imps, so that I can get more stuff. Now, Bile Demons are a workshop unit. I don't know if I've unlocked them yet, or if I've only unlocked trolls. The way to attract a Bile Demon isn't through a large workshop though, it's through a large hatchery, because the reason they have gastric issues is because they're all about that food. So what we do is we create a 5x5 hatchery.
A
We
workshop.
surround it by
Place where
workshop.
trolls will
Oh,
come
that's
for
expensive.
fabrication of the doors and traps which help defend your evil underground creation.
Again, we want, especially in an exposed place like this, we want to expose our dungeon heart.
Oh yeah, expose your heart.
I always expose my heart to you, bro. Let's just very casually. So this game builds things in 3x3 cells. So you'll see this is a 5x5, and in the middle of a 3x3 opening, they have this room. This room is basically non-functional without this. You can hold more chickens, but this is what actually spawns them and feeds more creatures. Because it's a 5x5, it's more efficient because they share the open spaces. So this 1x3 thing is shared by both of these 3x3 areas. But a 1x3 against a wall also creates a usable structure. So even though it's only 1 wide, this room is working. Except this area here is going to be pretty useless. But yeah, these are the ideal working conditions for a Bile Demon. So let's see if one comes through the portal. They are partially attracted by large layers, so let's hope that that helps. If they are unlocked in this level. If it's only trolls, I'm gonna have to have just one again and keep micromanaging the portal.
So how many Bile Demons can you actually have?
You've claimed a
At one time, I don't know if
The
it's
swift
limited.
light Firefly's essential
Even
as an
at 2
airborne
times.
scout.
Is that a
His
firefly?
eyes are yours
As
to
a
penetrate
firefly.
dark places and report. A firefly has left your
Pest
dungeon.
control.
A
A troll arrives, attracted by the splendor of your workshop.
okay.
His
Splendor of my
craftsman
workshop,
skills
he
are set to
says.
serve you well.
I have the best
one whose
workshop.
toil will
Donald
make
Trump
both
would be all about,
and
you know,
doors for you to use
you
again.
have
He
the
looks like
best
such a
workshop.
cool character. It's a shame you have
His
to throw him
web
away.
bends.
I keep
Now,
this one
choose
until
the
we've
hammer tab to see the
determined
workshop
whether or
panel.
not
Then
Bile
select the
Demons
symbols
are a
of the
thing.
sentry trap.
Do they
The
regenerate?
tile which flashes near your dungeon heart is a
What do
good
you mean?
place as any for a sentry trap.
Trolls
Oh.
regenerate, right?
No, not in this.
Watch. Your trolls
Do they
will
turn to
fabricate
stone
a
in the
trap.
sun?
Then imps will
There's
take
no
it to its
sun in Dungeon
designated
Keeper.
place.
Literally, the whole point of the game is the last portal on the last level leads to the overworld where the sun is, which is why the wall for the overworld, being a quote-unquote spiritual successor to Dungeon Keeper,
I said sun,
gets its
I
name.
didn't mean starlight.
Haha.
Look at all them
A
gold.
sentry trap has been
I'm gonna
created
need
in
it.
your
Look at how
workshop.
poor I am.
Look at all them gold. Look at all them chickens.
Man, I have a lot of chickens.
Some in chicken.
I love that grinding noise. It's so satisfying.
Sorry, was my mic on?
These
No,
sentry
this guy
traps
grinding
will
along
only
the trap.
fire if sufficient is your mana for their power.
So yeah, these guys cost mana to fire and to maintain.
Place well your wooden doors in narrow tunnels to slow down hostile enemies as they invade. A sentry trap has been created in your workshop.
Suddenly I can afford a
new
lot of
species
these.
of creature has entered your dungeon.
New creatures
A
in the
wooden
dungeon.
door has been created in your workshop. You do not have enough gold. A goblin has left your dungeon.
So this is great. Like, it's such an
Your
expensive
doors
strategy
lock
to
with
do
one
everything
left
with
click
traps.
Lock trolls within
But
your workshop, then watch them work.
So
relentlessly.
literally the whole point with
In
this level
time,
is
they'll yearn
there's
to
gold
sneak your
everywhere.
To lure Lord Avaricious from his stronghold, mine all the gold within his realm.
I'm not actually gonna need a big training room if I only have one troll. I'd have expected to see at least one Bile Demon by now if they were able to spawn.
You know what the spawn conditions things are for Bile Demon?
Have a workshop, have a big hatchery, have a big lair. Check, check, and check. In fact, I don't think they even need the workshop. I think it's kind of a bonus for them. But the elite version of the Bile Demon is absolutely requires that weird workshop layout. So if I dig around, my imps will level up. So we also want to generate more mana. So I'm just gonna dig out this whole area.
A troll has left your dungeon.
So I'm just digging out more space so that I have more mana generating area. Because yeah, that's how that works. I'm pretty sure Dungeon Keeper gave MTG the idea, Magic the Gathering, the idea that land equals mana. That's it. As old as this game is, I think Wizards have been doing that particular thing for even longer. Oh wait, I can lock rooms. Cool. So we have a locked portal room, and if they decide they're if they decide they've had enough, then you know we could just cannon them.
Your creatures are unable to get to a land.
How many imps have I got? Oh, the cannons to
Your
get mana.
creatures are
That's right.
unable to get to a trading room.
So that guy's just gonna be
Your
real
creatures
busy.
are unable to get to a treasury.
There, put the gold there. So if I get all of my imps except one, I can pop one in here and the rest all just get to work, guys. I'm getting so much mana. Oh, it was my input, not my output that I was checking for the mana earlier. Whoopsies. Okay, so this gold covers the entrance to the fuck over there.
A goblin has left your dungeon.
I wish I could slap people to sleep faster. Actually, I wish I could get slapped to sleep
Your creatures
better.
are unable to get to a workshop.
Like, imagine slapping
If
someone
that's
who
an
just.
option, can I hire a person?
I
I
mean,
personally need a personal slapper. Just if that works. Does
uh,
it work? Tell me it works.
I mean, you can get a hooker to do it, but she'll charge extra. But then you also don't have to actually use her in an official capacity. Is prostitution illegal in this country? I keep forgetting.
A goblin has left your dungeon.
Also, you know, quality content that. No, don't. Come here. Oh man. The locked door is nice, but it only helps so far. Hello, snitch. You know what happens to snitches? You're right. They get stitches.
A goblin has become unhappy because he has been slapped. A goblin has become angry because he has been slapped.
What? He's gonna leave now. These guys are busy.
A goblin has left your dungeon.
So I super need those cannons. But oh man, this is taking forever. Wee. Oh, buddy, forget training. You'll get that. You know, when you're single-handedly fighting an entire army, just build the cannons. That said, I get to do this. More cannons! More Daka! More gun.
A sentry trap has been created in your workshop.
Oh, look at how quickly he makes them. Whee! I should keep this here and just have it as an advanced trap. Something breaks that door and it's just a kill box of very angry, hungry things. Ah, I'm so glad I don't have to worry about HR. Being evil's just better, man. Whee!
A firefly has
Whee!
left your dungeon.
Downside is I don't even know how to attempt to get an elite
A
troll.
sentry trap has been created in your workshop.
I'm so leveling. How do you know something is important? Surrounded by cannons. Ironically, if I'm ever in a position where I have one Bile Demon, this is still going to be the same tactic.
Your creatures are unable to get to a lair. Your creatures are unable to get to a training room. Your creatures are unable to get to a treasury.
Back to work. My creatures are unable to reach anything because I have physically blocked everything off.
A troll has left your dungeon.
So usually there's a lot more to do in this game, but because I'm playing it so wrong, it's going to be a lot of hurry up and wait.
In your workshop.
It's with the territory, I guess.
Like, but there's no question that what I am doing is playing Dungeon Keeper wrong.
It's kind of like saying playing a Nuzlocke is playing Pokemon wrong. Because you're not catching them all, are ya?
I mean, it's more like saying playing a Nuzlocke and then deliberately getting most of your Pokemon killed.
I mean, who would do that deliberately?
I think deliberately is the key word there. You know, as opposed to me who just does it completely by accident. Mostly. Mostly.
A sentry trap has been created in your workshop.
Part of me is impatient and just wants to let this guy finish the traps and then just unlock an attack, but then I'm remembering how that went the last
A
time.
goblin has left your dungeon.
Actually, I'm curious, right? The game wanted me to make one trap, but after that, it really doesn't force me to have the guy.
Your creatures are unable to get to a workshop.
So I'm questioning if I should get rid of my lost goblin and just let the cannons do all the work. Oh man,
Firing my cannons!
I'm a fireball laser. Cool, we're gonna get rid of this firefly. So, creatures, if they stay in your hand, get pissy if you keep them for too long, but they also starve if you just hold on to them forever. Maybe I should start doing that.
So what's the advantage of like doing that whole sacrifice thing? Do you get anything from it?
No, I'm throwing stuff in the portal because I don't want it to be in my dungeon.
There's no like little bit of a mana boost or anything that you gain from doing that.
You have 15 population slots provided by this one portal. The only benefit to getting rid of one creature is opening up population space for another one. There is literally no other advantage. You do get a thing down the line called the Dark Temple. It's the last building you unlock because it unlocks the most powerful creature type you can get. It's the Dark Angel. Anyone who's thinking of Jessica Alba in leather, it's a very different picture.
I was thinking about Lord Lucifer a bit.
A sentry
About
trap
what?
has been
Who?
created in your
What?
workshop.
So there's a series that came out in the early noughties called Dark Angel, which is Jessica Alba, I think a little bit young to be sexualized the way she is in that show by Hollywood standards, i.e. illegal, because I think she's like 16 in it, but it's, I think, very much where the Jessica Alba craze came from, because it definitely wasn't the good direction of that series. Because if you sit down and watch it like an actual series compared to other things that were out around that time like Buffy, it's god
A
awful.
sentry trap has been created in your workshop.
Oh hey, there's a dwarf. Let's let him through and, you know, see what happens. Hello, dwarf friend. Oh, you know what? He's gonna attack the door because nothing's around to stop him. Except for the one troll we are allowed to use. I'm just letting these guys hang on in here to see how long it takes before they get pissy about it. Yes, run from my
Troll
cannon.
has become unhappy because he has no lair.
Yes, these guys are starting to get a little bit antsy. Let's get rid of the
A
spares.
troll has left your dungeon.
You, on the other hand, friend, can do as you please. Oh, you think you're gonna go that way? Well, too bad, you're locked here.
Your creatures are unable to get to a training.
You don't have a home.
Fly has become unhappy because it has been slapped.
Aw.
I mean, you know how many times I had to slap him for him to be unhappy? Most people, that number is 1.
Your creatures are unable to get
These
to
guys
a
is like, fuck it. Beat me, senpai.
Harder.
Harder, daddy.
Deep daddy.
No. What is it with you people? I have to put a keep out sign before all of you guys like rock up? Like, I'm pretty sure the other end of that portal is like dudes like, hey, I'm gonna get a job here, and then like 5 seconds later, like, boing, whee. And they'll, you know what? Everyone wants to work with me because this is an exclusive workplace.
Best
like
way to
sentry
make people
trap
want to
has been
have some
created in
is to
your
tell them they
workshop.
can't.
Right. That's why limited edition is such a thing. Like, what was that? The dip fries at KFC. They were delicious, but they're like, this is limited edition. We're like, we don't care. We want more. And then they went away, and then people were raging after getting more of them. And now they're just back.
It's 6-1 sauce or something.
Yeah. Ha 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 ha. Yay, cannon. Did his skull catch fire?
I mean, that happens.
I guess cannons have that effect on people.
A sentry trap has been created in your workshop.
So I can actually tell my imps to explore areas by telling them to dig out places that don't have actual dirt. Because the game takes place underground, when you don't know what it is, you just assume
A
more
troll
dirt.
has left your dungeon.
And I'm doing this right? I've got a firefly and I'm not even using him for explorer. Oh man. Is it just me or is chat really quiet tonight?
That is pretty quiet, but that's fine.
I guess
We got
this
each
is
other, buddy.
the difficulty of being a fledgling streamer.
A sentry trap has been created.
Like-
in your
Also, I think you
workshop.
normally stream on Fridays, or have been for a while, so I think if someone is used to streaming currently on Friday, they might not know that you're starting this Wednesday one as well.
Yeah. I mean, there's alerts, but it only goes so far.
Which has alerts.
They're not very good, but if you're following someone, it sort of is like, hey, this person is doing the
Firefly has
thing.
left your dungeon.
I don't think I've ever received an alert, and I am following people on my cell phone.
I think you have to be logged in on the desktop app, maybe? Or you have to have, like, maybe that's what people mean when they say you have to ding the bell. I don't even know if I have a bell, but if I do, please ding it.
Isn't that a YouTube thing?
It's a social media thing at this point.
You're a social media
You
thing.
thieving!
You know I am.
I will punish you for daring to despoil my
Oh hey,
land.
they also have cannons. Cool. My one level 2 goblin. Oh wow, that dude's day just sucked. Cannons! Oi, where are you going? Come back here, you coward! Retreat, you uncoward!
Your dungeon.
Face me like a manling.
So, what's the side bet here? Do you think this guy's even gonna make it through the door?
It is payday.
Not at this
Your
rate.
destiny is to die by my sword.
They might drop. Yeah, there goes one of the cannons at least.
Your creatures are complimenting you on your dungeon.
I love how perfectly they set up this bridge just to get wrecked though. Like, if you are given the tutorial level that teaches you about traps, and given cannons, and given this perfectly good bridge, and you don't just cover it in death, you're bad at games. Or a masochist like me. Oh man, he's so on fire.
Access, my evil friend.
It's so on fire.
So I was checking out those two artifacts that were on his bridge, and I didn't even get to unlock them. But again, I also didn't have warlocks or a library, so... Oh man, I love these little skits.
Corrupting the noble.
I think that more than anything else, that sort of shenanigan is why I want to play a D&D game based on this. I'm gonna fill up this whole thing. Is this when I get my Bile Demons? Probably not.
Shady Grove.
Maybe.
Your next adversary.
No, it's Dark Elves. I'm gonna have one Dark Elf this level.
Knows your intentions, evil
Nice.
keeper. But
So what
now,
did the Dark Elves
he
do?
cowers in his
They
castle,
snipe.
locked away behind what
Dark
he supposes is the safety of the group.
So part of me wants to just go ahead and own a single troll for long enough to make doors to cordon off my portal, but part of me is thinking even that's owning units that I'm not supposed to be.
It's a difficult challenge. Like what?
It's a masochistic challenge, and I'm worried if some of it's not going to be very good viewing, especially this early suffering-y part.
Maybe that is what ends up being the funnest part. Who knows?
I mean, people get to see Dungeon Keeper in its glory at the very least, for those who've never gotten the chance to play it. It's like you take my one buddy who, like, he does the sort of work that is usually at any given time 300 kilometers away from the nearest PC. He's by no means a very computer literate person. And he was like, I do want to do some gaming. And he played Dungeon Keeper back in the day. And he's currently got a laptop with us running on it.
Nice.
Like, out in the fucking boonies.
This is the way.
This is the way.
I know the way.
Do you know the way?
I do not know the way.
Okay, cool. So I need to have a warlock long enough to just research this one spell because I know for a fact that there's a objective that you need to use that spell to actually get.
What are we talking about?
I'm gonna need a warlock to break one of the soft locks.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? Let's not until we actually run into it, I think. Lol, what gold? Pios Factoria. I love the pseudo-Latin that the spells use. So I don't know all of them. I know the heal spell something like Cade Medicanum, which translates to something medical. Impios Factorias is literally create an imp or imp factory, if you want to be super literal. But my favorite is the spell create gold. It literally just says American Express in Latin.
You have claimed a portal.
Okay.
Okay.
I've claimed a portal, but you know, now what? It's weird, like, without accumulating creatures I'm sort of speedrunning, but at the same time I'm really not speedrunning because the shit's slow.
A new species of creature has entered
You're
your
meat
dungeon.
running. Medium running.
I'm meat running.
Yeah, that didn't end up how I meant it to.
I think
Goblin
it's
has left your
Meat
excellent.
running.
Wait, is this the room where I actually find the dark elf in the guard room? I could have not dug out the portal. I say that,
A
but
new
there's no way I could have
species of
gotten here without
creature
it.
has entered your dungeon.
You know what, you idiots, run around, do what you want. You're not costing me anything. I'll get rid of you when the time comes. Let's have the most inconveniently located fucking treasury of any dungeon ever.
The guard.
Here we
Drop
go.
your creatures here to keep them lively and alert, thence ready for the fight. The
Thence.
flashing area which surrounds it marks the zone where any brush with trouble by your creatures will give cause for them to dash back and report,
Ventus.
so reinforcements can be found. Make sure there's adequate provision for your minions' needs nearby, for though they are on guard, they still require their creature comforts, and it's wise to minimize the time they stray from duty.
So yeah, what he's basically said is, you need your creatures to be nearby their guard post, but with this awkward space here, it's possible to really optimize it or just really fuck it up. So I can pop my lairs and my hatchery here. I can pop my training room over here. And some treasuries. So when payday even comes, they don't even leave the area. Normally on this level, I'd put a door here, and a door here, and some cannons along here.
Behold, The Dark Elf. Her sniping skills as sharp as
And
bolted arrows which she shoots.
with this
She
guard
serves
area, it
well in
forms a
line
pretty
behind your
nice
fighters
bulwark.
and excels in duty as a guard.
So if I do this right, I can put a door here and lock it, and nothing else will ever actually be needed. Like, the other creatures won't need to be thrown away with the micromanaging because they'll never, rock up. However, only allowed one Dark Elf. So I think I might actually do that. I'm still only using one creature, but if this door ever gets passed, I just collect everything and chuck them.
A new species of creature has entered your dungeon.
Or,
Avoiding frustrations down the line.
yeah, less micromanaging, more doing stuff.
More of the keeping of dungeon.
Yes. It also means I get to fuck around and make a dungeon while not actually using anything.
You want to make a dungeon?
I like making dungeons, as does anybody who enjoys this game, I think. As to any dungeon masters in D&D.
There's a game I used to absolutely love called Dungeon Maker on PSP.
On PSP, I remember playing it on Newgrounds, if I'm not mistaken.
It's essentially you build a dungeon. By the bigger your dungeon, the more creatures will lured into your dungeon to take up residence, and then you kill them so that you get their loot.
It sounds an awful lot like.
Observe the creature panel on your screen.
Oh right, that
Click
was
on
the game by
creatures numbers
Nipponichi,
once
wasn't
and
it?
to carry them, then drop them where you will, just as before. Observe also the symbols which lie
I'm
beside.
not 100% sure.
Use these to gauge your beast's activities.
What's that
The
again?
number which now fight or work.
Like it's sort of a tower defensey kind of vibe, isn't it? That
A
dungeon
wooden door
maker.
has been created in your workshop.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call it a tower defense.
Like your main character looks like an anime character straight out of a Disgaea game.
Yeah, there was some severe anime influence in the story.
Okay. Okay.
The game wasn't 3D.
I see. Let's pop some gold all over up in this bitch.
Oh yeah. Yeah, gold poppin'. Gold poppin'.
Cool, so all these guys are just here. So she's got that massive crossbow, which is nice because much like the warlock, she's a backline fighter. The imps can keep the dwarves busy while she just pelts them. But she's a little hardier than the warlock. Only slightly. You missed that shot.
It happens to the best of us.
Well, she's clearly not even that.
Well, sure. Granted.
And down she goes. Ah, they're gonna let her die.
Can you believe it?
You know what? I keep forgetting I have this option.
What option?
The option of, wait, what's that bitch doing there? The option of electrocuting shit. I love that little uh-oh that the imps let out. Uh-oh. These little bastards are adorable.
A troll has become unhappy because he has no lair.
Cool, so we can lock this. You morons can chill there. lock this door. Okay, so
Your
now we
creatures are
have
unable to get to a training room.
one dark elf chilling over here and everyone else just chilling.
It's meant to be.
Don't mind me, I'm just casually digging out the world.
The only way to live. I see the world. I just want to dig out the world.
Got one lightning bolt and a border, enough time to go and just chill. It's weird, they're not even trying to break through the door, they're just messing with the imps. But the imps keep on rocking up, getting their asses kicked, fleeing, and then healing up. Lady, if you're gonna rest, rest. Rest or fight, pick one. Stop this not making up your mind bullshit.
Light.
You know what? I am ordering you to sleep. Does that help? Ah fuck, more shit spawning than I'm killing.
Space to be in.
This is obviously a problem.
This light.
A new species of creature has entered
That
your
was
dungeon.
fast. Halfway through putting down the thing and it's like, oh well. So, if I get rid of all my dudes when payday happens,
Dungeon.
Is there a specific time when they take their toll?
yeah, so you see this dial here that's
It is
empty
payday.
currency. As it counts down, they
Is that payday?
yeah, so you see it's full again. My imps are dying.
That's the opposite.
Hmm. Oh man, this is messed up. I don't even know which is the right one.
Your dungeon heart is under attack. A dark elf has left your dungeon.
You're not the right one. I'm literally just this one, and they've wrecked the door. And all my imps are dead, and everything is horrible.
Do you think you guys will do this one?
I don't know. It's gonna depend on whether or not my one dark elf actually. And my warlock's just doing research there.
Imagine a Bile Demon spawns seconds before you actually
Your
use the
library
game.
is not yet functional.
I would
You must
cry.
enlarge it.
I would love.
I literally just need one spell, and then I've got this.
God, there's nobody.
Warlock, you're not supposed to be fighting. You're supposed to be learning. How great it would be to have a heal spell.
Yeah.
Ah, check, yeah, they're probably fucking up my dungeon heart now, and the imps aren't cutting it. But now, if I've got this dark elf just pelting him and they're more focused on the heart, she might just win this. Don't charge them, you're a ranged fighter! Why can't I zap this dude? Hello, please, I would like to zap you.
Your dungeon heart is dying. Your dungeon heart is under attack.
Yeah, it's on 50% health now, so I'm in trouble. You know, if I wasn't already in trouble.
You're in trouble.
I'm in troublest.
Oh my. That is severe.
Yeah, even if I go full tilt and just use whatever I can now, I'm probably not going to survive. %.
Your dungeon has been breached.
Wait, something's dug in? Oh my god.
Sounds slightly ominous.
What it is highly problematic. It's more problematic than Donald Trump's behavior.
What's he done now?
I'm just mean in general.
That's rough.
Your dungeon heart is in a critical state.
Yeah, so I'm even letting monsters in now and I'm still not gonna stop this from being a defeat. So you've seen what the lose condition is.
Yeah, it's such a good run.
Oi. That's fine, I can still start off from this
Dungeon
level.
heart has been destroyed.
Are you still constantly saving? Like you should.
No, not even slightly.
It seems that
Well,
Lord
it's been
Ludwig's
okay
fate.
since it hasn't crashed, so that's fine.
Oh. Okay,
Shady Grove.
so I'm gonna have to bend a little bit on this one, I think.
Lord Ludwig knows your intentions, Edith.
At the very least, I'm gonna have to get some like traps and such down. Oof. So I moved this guy into claiming duty immediately because especially in the beginning, it's the difference between plus 64 or plus 65 mana a second. And it can lead to, especially when you get 5 or 6 spots like that, it can lead to you getting another entire minutes earlier. So when you're digging out an area, you need at least one of them to actually be claiming land.
Bring that land.
Oi. Cool, so I'm gonna have just enough library for one thing. I'm gonna have just enough that. And I'm gonna make a kill box in here, I think.
How does one make a kill box in this game?
Cannons! Because cannons are life.
You need a treasury to store gold.
Oh no, I have too much gold. The ultimate first world problem.
I don't know what to do with all my gold.
Oh my gold.
Oh my god.
Oh my gold.
Don't know what to do.
I don't know what we're doing here, but okay.
But we're doing it.
Let me help these guys out. Can do a lot of your imp's work for them. By a lot I mean specifically transporting gold and that's it.
A lot of their work, which is just what this one thing.
Yeah, you can do a lot. Like, it can become a very time consuming task, especially when you have lower level imps and long distances for them to cover.
Your treasury is too small.
Once again, I have not enough room for all my money. You claim, you claim, you claim.
What did you claim?
I'm telling them to claim this terrain. You see this little hopping dance they do? Also, those things on their back aren't a part of their body, they have bags. They basically stomp on the ground until they decide it belongs to us. Do I even have a lair? No, whoops. Do I even have a hatchery? No, whoops.
A new species of creature has entered your dungeon.
Zealous. I guess I can pop all my money in here. What are you gonna do with all that cash? All that cash up in your stash? So, from the warlocks, there's a very specific spell that I need. That's unlocked in this level.
A new species of creature has entered your dungeon.
And it's called Possession. So,
What that does?
how we make a kill box is we do this. So what it does is it literally turns this game into a first-person shooter or first-person game where you are in control of the creature that you have possessed.
Any big benefit and efficiency or anything like that?
Observe the creature panel.
You're
on
a
the
lot
screen.
smarter than any of our
Click on creatures'
creatures.
numbers once or more to carry them.
they're all doing
and
their
drop
shit
them
before
where you
one of the
will, just as
creatures.
before.
Yeah, it's
Observe all
much
the
finer
symbols
control
which
than
are
just
designed.
dropping them where you want them to do
Use these to
stuff. You
gauge your
can
beast's activity.
lead
The
them
number
into places
which
further
reflect
than you can
work
drop. You
and
can
remain good
order your creatures to follow you around. You can determine the order in which they use their abilities when and where.
The guard. Drop him.
So we're gonna get our Dark Elf soon.
Okay, still there.
You know what? If I'm only allowed to really use one creature in this map, I'm not entirely convinced that that choice should be the Dark Angel or the Dark Elf. Actually, I wonder if I don't dig out these areas if I get attacked less.
Possession spell.
Here we
Cast
go.
on a given creature places you within its circle, your eyes behind its eyes, and makes its movement fully under your control.
The heart whispers things. It's creepy. So
You possess your creature's
the benefit
own
is I get to
I
run
see
around and
you're
do shit
adept
like
at
this.
new skill. So, time to try another. Grouping. It enables you to band a number of your beasts together in a group. To do it, first possess a creature, then select the group key. Then look through the creature's eyes which you possess. And then, you spy another, left-click upon the mouse. All creatures thusly grouped will follow you wherever you may go.
So I can have my imps follow me
The
around.
Dark Elf. Their sniping skills as sharp as bolted arrows which she shoots. She serves you well in line behind your fighters and excels in duty as a guard.
So now what I can do is I can literally have this one creature and just stroll into wherever I need to fight with my imps. Whee! Bonk. Bonk. So see, now the imps are actually fighting.
Onwards.
Oh, hi.
Is that the big baddie?
These are medium-sized baddies at best. Downside is, two of my imps just ran like bitches. And I am controlling a level 1 warlock right now, so one hit just did 80% of my health at the top of the screen there.
Yeah, you're gonna die.
No please.
You shouldn't want to die, but you're gonna die.
No please, thank you. Yeah, these guards don't look like much, but they're actually a pretty elite unit. Like, there's 3 of what is basically the good side's equivalent of the Bile Demon there. No please! See how they're one-shotting the imps as they run past. The other side of the coin is because I'm controlling this guy, he's not gaining any combat experience because I'm doing his fighting. And missing apparently. No please!
Over an enemy portal. Rejoice. A second portal is now claimed. Prepare, as from it 5 more creatures may be drawn forth to your dungeon. Your create imp spell has been upgraded.
Ah,
I see you have discovered a magical item.
so I've literally kited
Your dungeon
one of
heart
these
is under
guys all the
attack.
way to the dungeon heart. And they've run through some of my other guys in the meantime. Which leads me to question if this level is at all possible with one dude. Like, that whole mess was to get rid of 3 dudes.
You have been blessed with extra imps.
Well, lightning still works.
A new species of creature has entered your dungeon.
New species of creature. Is it a Bile Demon? No. I'm only just getting my first goblin. Also, at some point, all of my trolls just died while I was running around possessed. So yeah, this level's really not meant to be played the way I'm playing it.
Yeah. What options do you really have at this stage?
Cheating maliciously.
What do you mean by cheating?
I mean, actually playing the game as intended.
Well, we can maybe think of an addendum that makes levels like this possible. If you failed, for every time you fail a level, you may add one of whatever single type of unit you've got. So let's say you had
Jesus.
a single dark elf. Now you're allowed 2 until it's 3 or 4 or 5. Then okay, you will.
I think doing it that way is never going to give me enough. So what you're saying is, as of right now, I'm allowed 2 creatures.
2 of whatever the highest level creatures is.
A goblin
So
has
if one
left
dies,
your
you
dungeon.
get it back.
So basically, do this shit that I just did.
Yeah, I'm just trying to
Your
find a way of
creatures are
putting it
unable to
into
get
words
to
so
a
that we
library.
know. Okay, you've lost again.
Yeah.
Creatures are unable to
Creatures,
get to a
whatever.
training.
So that there's no confusion about what you're saying.
Sure. These guys are wrecking my imps over here. You're good, and you're bad. So what I do is I pick you up and I drop you and I pick you two. And I figure out where the other Dark Elf is. Wrong portal.
It is payday.
My god, it's just what I need. Another portal for stuff to come through.
Left your dungeon.
Let me possess you, Miss Dark Elf. Oh, this is a troll.
Your treasury is too small.
So, fun fact. If a creature dies while it's possessed, it immediately dies instead of losing consciousness. I think in order to save myself from having to repeat a level 18 times, I think what we do is one monster, then another 2, then another 3, because otherwise it's going to be this forever.
So you're allowed 3 total now, is that right?
Yes. Not that it's going to help at all with this monstrous force I have to deal with.
Do you still have access to like traps and cannons and shit, or like are they just not doing anything else?
I mean, I have to build the traps for them to be useful. But the possession
Your
spell
dungeon
is
has
still
been breached.
great. These guys are level goddamn 5.
Your dungeon heart is under
Because
attack.
they've been just unimpededly terrorizing this place for so
I
long.
see you have discovered a magical item.
Oh shit. No,
That's
please.
slightly more people than I feel that you should be comfortable with.
Well, I'm not comfortable with it. And that one guy's just like really determined on me. See, if they get distracted and focus on the heart, I can like just derp them in the backs. But that one rogue is just like really determined on me.
Nice.
Get hit again, I'm losing this Dark Elf since she's level 2. So I'm actually having to play this like serious roguelike style.
Pro defense.
Yep, there it is.
No.
Already see the flies over my corpse. But I've been in there for a while, so I get to just do that. So I've had this small army just form itself in my dungeon while I was possessing that one dark elf.
You have claimed a guard room.
Oh right, there's portals all over this fucking level, aren't there? Well, she's dead. Just let nature take its course there.
How would you normally approach that like this? If you didn't have restrictions on yourself?
So this room would look exactly like it currently does. I would have my guys do pretty much what they're doing. I'd have some guys on guard, some guys on training. These rooms wouldn't be this clustered mess so much as each room would have like a designated area, a proper area. Ah, it's useless. And yeah, I think it's going to be necessary to just play this level normally because it's with the guard rooms. The whole point of it is to illustrate, hey, these are useful when you're constantly being attacked.
Your dungeon has been breached.
See shit like that. Caution to the wind then. Down to 4 imps again.
Your creatures have been blessed with experience.
Okay. Bless this mess. The other side of the coin is I don't even know where I'm meant to be going in order to like stop these constant attacks coming at me. I can't claim any of their portals because obviously I don't have bridges. Because normally that's how you'd cut them off, is you would claim the portal, these portals, by claiming ground next to them, but that's not an option when they're in the water and you don't have bridges. Oi. See, even with an actual army right now, this is a difficult level. I think that's another thing, is I'd usually be a lot less pressured by having a lot more creatures to just be guarding areas and me not have to worry about when shit's coming from where.
Yeah, you're adopting a whole different playstyle for this run.
Yeah. I mean, all told, I'm not really doing much with the creatures I have. I've also not really getting any traps built for some reason. This guy's slacking. I guess because I told him to train.
I see you have discovered a magical item.
And yeah, obviously now need to make kill boxes here as well and here in order to keep the more defensive strategy. But I'm just gonna rush this level and get back to the challenge.
Your Thunderbolt spell has been upgraded. A sentry trap has been created.
Like I said, I'm
in
not
the workshop.
being attacked at the moment, like, and I haven't for a while, which is really confusing after that, you know, relentless onslaught I suffered just now.
A dark elf has become unhappy because she has no lair. Your creatures have been blessed with experience. Behold, Lord Ludwig's old decrepit servant Bob, who's left on guard alone.
Heh, Bob.
Disturb him, and he'll call his comrades. It'll be best if he stays
Bob.
Cool. So yeah, this is the thing that I thought was the soft lock on this level, where you need a dark elf to progress. What you're supposed to do is, you know, somehow miraculously know what the zoom in button is with these guys. Well, I found the sprint button.
A wooden door has been created in
So I'm
your
just
work.
pushing buttons along my keyboard that I know aren't the depossess button to try and figure out how to zoom in. You know what I'm actually gonna do? Define keys. Here we go. Possess run, possess select abilities. First ability, second ability, 5 and 6. Zoom in, harm. It can't be as simple as that, can it? No, no it is not. 5, 6. I don't have any abilities, okay. Like it just says zoom in, and it doesn't even attempt to explain how. Lets you do a lot of other stuff though. Possess, pick, lock, or disarm. Numpad 0. Sniper mode. Insert. Here we go.
Pew, 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 pew.
Bonk.
That seems slightly OP.
I think that's sort of the point. Like, it's a very manual
It is
process to be able to do it,
payday.
and that goes on super low health that allowed me to do that.
Your creatures are
And
infested
if I
with rats.
stay here and manually kill this cannon, I'm gonna be here forever. But that's what we're gonna do, because that's as close as we can actually reach to the challenge. Or, you know, kite like a beast. These controls are the most unwieldy thing I've ever done this kind of fighting in. Whee! Well, that was... I guess I need to kill the door eventually anyway. So, my melee attack seems to do more damage at least to this trap. I don't know if it does more damage in general. The downside is it's melee, and I'm fighting a cannon.
Yes, tear down the barrel of a
Your
gun.
possession spell has been upgraded. There is nothing left to research. A moat
So
of stagnant water circles round Lord Ludwig's fort. Your imps will be unable to claim it on their own, so group your strongest forces in a band as one, and only then make bold attempts to reach the other side.
Evermore Lisa says that cannon though, and then barrel roll or urethra.
do a urethra roll. What? So the question is, can I handle this fight on my own?
I believe in you. Yes, you can.
Eat all the knives ever! Oh, everyone's slow in the water. You know who that benefits? The ranged fighter. So I had to use multiple creatures to survive, but to actually, you know, finish the level, I'm still only using... Okay, I'm getting myself into a bad situation between the cannon and the...
Yeah, you took a hit there.
I took a couple.
What's the fastest you can shoot with this character?
I am. Like, you see the icons around the attacks are cooling down. Yes, you run in front of your buddy because you're the one I actually need dead. I don't care about him. Ooh, this guy hits like a truck. More than half my health.
One down.
Yeah, but I need to not let this guy chase me into the cannon again.
Your portals have attracted as many creatures as they can.
Sprinting fairy princess! No! No, please! Throw your damn knives! So, in addition to these attacks having long cooldowns before you can use a particular attack again, I also have a cooldown between actual attacks of any kind. So this guy's level 2, I am level 5, and this guy is just not.
Well, you are out DPSing it hard.
That's because I'm kiting like a mofo.
Exactly.
But if this were a stand-up fight, I would not have a chance.
Are you sitting down at the moment? Oh, by
Yes.
the way, Lisa says don't die. Okay?
I won't die. Like that. Aye.
Horny.
Well, while the Horned Reaper is busy handling that, so I think I'm gonna head and grab some food in a bit. Haven't exactly
This is
picked
a
up.
great space for us to call it then, because you finally defeated the difficult level of difficultness.
Yeah.
Glorious outro with the Corn Reaper.
Yeah, it's a quiet one. If there were more people watching, or if there were people watching, I would absolutely come back. But quiet nights are a reality of actually trying to
Organize your
do the
security
thing.
with the guard room.
So clever. What about Lisa?
Stake your claim
Lisa's
on
not a
the
person,
shores
she's a
with the
goddess.
wooden bridge.
Hey, wooden bridges, so I won't have that same problem again. And with a possession spell, I can do a lot more shenanigans, ideally, without, possibly getting myself dead.
Game giant.
But yeah, it's I think 2 months. Chicken tennis, nice.
Another land corrupted to your call.
Is it like tennis?
Sort of. Yeah, I think having a possession spell is gonna make it a lot easier to actually do this as intended. I think it's gonna be more a case of only use one creature or three creatures, or however many, to attack for a while, because I think the game's at that point where, like, this game was never so easy that you could just not do anything and not have any creatures or just expect to survive. Um, but yeah, that's I think gonna be it for tonight. The challenge is gonna start in earnest as soon as we actually unlock Bile Demons, but I don't even know when that is. Um, I think until then I'm going to elect a single creature type. It seems like the most realistic way to do it because one creature was very, very optimistic of me.
Can I elect a creature type per level?
Yeah. So that last level it
I
would have
elect
been the Dark
Bile
Elves.
Demon.
Yes, I elect Bile Demons for this level that I have none. Um, I also honestly can't believe I thought I'd be able to finish levels with just imps. Um, maybe the first one, but even that was like, what? Like the tutorial, you can win the tutorial by almost dying and using imps to save you. Um, but yeah, buddy, thanks for joining and actually witnessing some Dungeon Keeper in action. I know it's a bit of a game you're not that familiar with, and there's butt plugs hanging from the walls. Um, Thank you, darling, for cheering for me and helping me to not die. Um, yeah, and to anyone who sees this after the fact, I hope you've enjoyed this so far. It's gonna get better once there's actual Bile Demons, I promise, probably not. But yeah, thanks for coming and ciao.
Take care.